Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Susan Marra with Dr. Marra's Medical Minutes and my 10-month-old French Bulldog, Juju, who is doing very well as an office dog. And today we're going to talk about the prevalence of mold. We just had a board meeting with Dr. Horowitz's MSIDS Research Foundation. And one of the things we were talking about was how much mold and mycotoxin we are finding in our patients. 26 years ago when I started in Connecticut, I probably had maybe 2 patients a week that came in with mold. Now, 90% of my practice has mold. And it's interesting because Dr. Horowitz, who practices 3,500 miles away from me in a completely different environment, said that he's seeing the same thing. He says that 90% of his patients in his concierge practice have mold exposure and have mycotoxin illness. And that if you don't get rid of the mycotoxin illness first, you are not going to be able to get these patients with complex chronic illness, you're not going to be able to get them well. That's how damaging molds and mycotoxins are to the body. And interestingly, he said that 47% of all residential homes in the United States have some degree of mold in them. Well, that's a lot. That's almost 50%. So 1 in 2 homes have mold. That is alarming. And both he and Dr. Garth Nicholson, who's also on the board, we're talking about the role that climate change and the environment is playing in this absolutely huge rise in mycotoxin illness in our patients. And, as a result of this, I think we're going to see more. I think that mycotoxin illness is going to be a problem in the oncoming years. Certainly it is in my practice here in Paulsville, Washington. We see it quite a bit. And it's not just a little bit of exposure, it's a lot. I mean, sometimes these mycotoxins are off the charts. And you've got to treat them correctly with an antifungal and probiotics and some herbs and some detox and some toxin binders. You just have to, because these mycotoxins get inside the cell and cause havoc. They derail the mitochondria, they enter the nucleus, and they can become epigenetic on your genome and turn on and off genes that you don't want. So really, mycotoxin and mold illness is a real problem now, and it's probably going to increase because the climate is getting so much warmer. And so the other thing is that animals are also affected by mycotoxin. Yeah, Juju knows I'm talking about her. Yeah, animals are also affected. So you want to make sure that you don't have mold in your environment, because you want to make sure that your animal is safe as well as you're safe. I know for me, keeping Juju safe is a top priority. Yeah, isn't it, Judge? So I just wanted to share that insight that I learned yesterday in a meeting with Dr. Horowitz, that mycotoxin illness is just a huge problem right now, and it needs to be treated immediately when it's been identified. And you need to get rid of it as quick as possible and remediate the area that's moldy so that you can heal and move on with your life. My advice to everyone, including myself, is you should get your home tested every year for mold, because you could get a small leak and not even know it. I mean, it's so easy to do. So get your home tested every year by mold specialists, and that way you'll catch it before it becomes a problem, and hopefully you won't have any leaks. So I hope this information has helped you. and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.